Welcome back, duelists, to Old Format Yu-Gi-Oh's Edison Format Tournament. Today we have J Roche 33 down here in the red, aka Roche, versus Azathoth 144 up here in the blue. Roche today is on Synchro Cat, Skull Servants, Destiny and Dragoons, and Ojamas, with his Synchro Cat getting banned. You can already tell this is going to be a good match based on what was brought. Meanwhile, Mark is on Disaster Dragon, Lightsworn, Frog Monarchs, and Psychics, with his Disaster Dragon being banned. Now, I already know from memory that this is a good matchup, so let's see what we got here. We also have 5 watchers. Everyone was excited to watch Roche. Sadly, we didn't get to see him play in the beginning, just because that was one of the replays that we ended up losing, but what are you going to do? Mark seems to be on Lightsworn. He opens up Raikou, Heavy, Cold Wave, Recharge, Smashing Ground, and Pot of Avarice. Meanwhile, he's just going to set Raikou pass. Roche is going to draw Heavy Storm, Super Poly, Chain Material, Deck Devi, Poly, and Destiny Hero Dogma. Just looking at this, you know, he's up to no good, and I love to see it. So he's going to set Super Poly, Deck Devi, and Chain Material, and I believe Mark goes right for the Heavy Storm. He's going to activate Chain Material and basically do nothing, sadly. Roche definitely at a disadvantage. Mark's going to do some Lightsworn plays. I don't think I need to go into them. This is a long replay, so I'm just going to fast forward through it. Long set of replays, I should say. Mark tries to use Cold Wave, even though it's not the beginning of the turn. Roche is going to Rhoda for Stratos. Stratos for Plasma, you already know what's happening. Polymerization, we bring out Destiny and Dragoon. So, I'm just seeing if there's any relevant mills real quick. Let's go over what this does. Once per turn, you can target an opponent's monster. They destroy it. Your opponent takes damage equal to their attack. And of note, you can't enter your battle phase this turn. But what's really important is, if this is in your grave, once per during your standby phase, you can banish a Destiny hero, and it comes back. So it has recurrence, and now he has basically 2 revives, you could think of it as, which is pretty nice. So you're going to see a bit of what Roche's plan is here, is he goes to activate Cold Wave, and of course, Mark could have an answer to it. You'll see it more if we played more, but Roche is on the viruses, which is pretty good with Destiny and Dragoon, because it can just bring itself back next turn. Meanwhile, the viruses are honestly pretty crippling to any deck. So let's see how this plans out. Cold Wave, Chain Virus, and it pops a lot, including Lila. I think he puts Aaron in defense to just... I know why he puts Aaron in defense, because it can't be over Stratos. And now Roche is taking back the advantage a little bit, because Mark can't stick a small monster, but he does draw the Tragodia and Pot of Avarice. Now, of note, the virus does impact the Avarice, so Roche gets to see all of his draws. He draws Sork and JD. And if I'm not mistaken, JD is very alive. So Roche is not long for this world, and we're into game 2. Alright, Roche is going to go first on this one, and let's see what he is running it with. Looks like we're running it back with the Destiny Heroes. Meanwhile, Mark is on his Psychic list, which is a pretty fun one as well. Roche opens up Eradicator Virus. This hits spells or traps. Stratos, Dogma, King of the Swamp, Poly, and Destiny draw. Meanwhile, Mark is on Bottomless, Raikou, Psychic Commander, Pot of Avarice, and Brain Control. We'll see what he draws. Either way, I think Roche is going for the turn 1 Dogma here, or the turn 1 Dragoon. Oh, search the wrong one. That makes more sense. Searches Plasma, Polymerization, go for it, set Eradicator, and that is a good card. So we're going to see set Raikou here. Roche goes for the Dragoon, and I believe he calls trap cards just to get rid of any traps in his way, which is nice. And now of note, he did see his hand. See, you can see it typed it out right there. So pretty annoying, honestly. Roche has full advantage here. Destiny and Dragoon, ironically, just learned this too, can pop face-down monsters. So Raikou is not going to be having fun right now. Mark draws Charge, pretty good card right now. Gets another Raikou, same thing from Roche. Draws Mind Protector. And now we're going to see some Synchro plays. We're going to see a Black Rose to pop it, and then Pot of Avarice to get some stuff back from Mark. Going to draw Descendant. He is on a Gravekeeper engine, and Heavy Storm. Sadly, not drawing any traps for Roche's sake. We're going to see Prisma, which ironically could... It reveals another Dragoon. I know he didn't do it. And then you could send another Dogma or Plasma, meaning that it's just more revives for Destiny and Dragoon. Just a fun little interaction even after you make the fusion. Mark draws Raikou, sets Raikou. We've seen this before. Finally, Roche draws another Destiny hero, so he can activate D-Draw, which is discard Destiny hero, draw 2. That's always nice. Draws Dark Armed, and only 2 engrave, sadly, but we're getting there. Oh, wait. Another thing. Prisma activates, sending another Dark Monster, drop Dark Armed, and that's the game for Roche. That's fun. It's great to relive some of these replays, even though I was watching them, just because some of them are really surprising and they're fun to see. Game 3. Mark will be going first this time. Let's check out these openers. Mark is back on Psychic, so Allure, Psychic Commander, Level Leader, Bottomless, Pot of Avarice, and Overdrive Teleporter. This is the main boss monster that you could say. When he's tributed, you could pay 2,000 life and summon 2 level 3 Psychics from your deck, and from there you just try to combo off in some way. Meanwhile, Roche is on, as you can tell, Skull Servants. I'll wait till it's his turn. We're going to see Allure, Banish Level Leader, set Mind Protector, set Bottomless, and Mind Protector is just a big wall, so pretty cool card. But Roche is on Skull Servants, the People's Champion, as I'll call him. We have the previous champion versus the People's Champion. We have Lady in White, Pot of Avarice, Skull Servant, Mizuki, Debris Dragon, and Beast of the Pharaoh. This is a cool card with Debris Dragon, because you could bring it back and then you summon another zombie too. But let's see where this goes. We're just going to set Lady in White and continue, and just end. We're going to see Overdrive Teleporter, summon those 2 Psychics, go for Brio, bounce a set monster, and I mean, like, if you played this format, if you set a monster and Brio's on board, like, the game's over, and looking at Roche's hand, there's nothing he could really do about it. Kind of sad. This is not the fun game, but Skull Servants, maybe they'll make a comeback. Game 4. Roche is going to go first, since he just lost. Alright, Roche is on... Which one is this? I'm not even sure quite looking at it. It might be Skull Servants. Let's see. Raiko, Magical Merchant, Quick Draw, Tragodia, Debris Dragon, and Lonefire versus Mark, who is now on Frog Monarchs, which is Dark Dust, Battle Fader, Caius, Econ, and Soul Exchange. We're just going to set the Merchant, the best play in a Monster Mash style deck, and see what happens. Meanwhile, Mark, though, has the Dust Shoe, which is sad. He's going to activate Dust Shoe, and what's he going to hit? He's going to hit the Lonefire. Alright, that's a good hit, good hit. But we're going to see the Merchant, and Roche hits the spell off the first one. You gotta love it. We're going to see a Quick Draw play, go into Drill Warrior, banish itself. He's not going to worry about Gores, it seems. And we're going to see Mark draw Soul Exchange into Raiko. And if I'm not mistaken, does Mark do what I think he does? Yeah, tributes Rise and puts it back on the top. So it's this replay, I think, and another replay where you're going to learn very, very quickly that Mark has never played Monarchs in his life before. I think he liked the idea of it, but in practice, putting Rise on the top of the deck is what's going to happen. So we'll see where we go from here. He tributes a Caius, it looks like, for its... Or, how do I put this? I believe that this is just a fix, you know what I mean? Like, knowing that it's going to be on top, he tributes for Caius instead, and Roche was okay with it. Although it banishes itself, it's a bit more proactive than tributing Rise and putting him on top, because then you're locked in your draw. Roche is going to bring back Drill Warrior, bring back a Merchant. Drill Warrior is just going to banish and set Merchant. Going to tribute again. Ryza put the back row on top. This is not what you should be doing in Monarchs. Chaos Sorcerer banish. Drill Warrior banish again. We're just trying to get the Merchant value, it seems. And that's all we're really doing. Battle Fader, banish with Caius. And I mean, sadly, I ruled this deck when it came to deck building. You have to kind of lump something into a certain deck type, you know? Because it's like, is a deck 6 Samurai if you play 1/6 Samurai and all Black Wings? No, not really. But this deck does have a lot of Skull Servant support. It's just like kind of in a Monster Mash engine, and he's just not drawing it. It's kind of funny. The Drill Warrior's finally going to start getting in for damage, because Roche does not have fear of Gores anymore. And he's just going to keep generating advantage. I don't feel a need to pause this one, honestly, because nothing super unique is happening. Try gets dropped, gets banished by Chaos Orc. Yeah, and it's over. Mark sees the writing on the wall, and I think at this point he said he was never going to play Monarchs again, because it was not the best showing. I think this is game 5. Yes, it is. So we're down to 5. Not too many of those. And Roche is on the Ojamas. Meanwhile, Mark is still on Monarchs. We have Treeborn, Dustshoe, Dark Dust, Substitoad, Dupe Frog, and Caius. We'll go through Roche's hand in a bit. But he's going to go set Substitoad, which is actually a fine play, and set Dustshoe to activate. Good start. Roche opens Ojama Yellow, a brick. Pot of Avarice, Rikeki Break, Ojama Blue, not a brick. Ojama Country, also pretty good, and Card Destruction. However, Trap Dustshoe is going to hit that Ojama Blue, which makes this hand a lot worse. We're going to see Ojama Yellow, activate Ojama Country, just to go through this, because who's going to play Ojamas, let's be honest. You can discard an Ojama or send an Ojama to special one from your graveyard, and while an Ojama is on the board, all attack and defense is swapped. So he could attack into this right now, and it actually will have 100 defense, which is kind of funny. Let's see if he does that. He does, and it dies, sadly. So we're going to see Dupe Frog now get in with 2,000. We learned that frogs are probably the hard counter for Ojamas, just because they could start doing this and getting in for massive amounts of damage. And yeah, it sucks for Roche, honestly. Roche is going to draw another brick. Now Mark has two 2k beaters, and we're reversing something. Let's give it a bit. I guess Mark does not want to do that, which I think... Oh, I see why. The attack and defense are not reversed because there's no Ojama on board, so these were just 100 beaters. So he's going to instead go for the conservative play of set dupe, which, in my opinion, I think you should always summon dupe because it's still the dupe block. Because this card reads, where are you? Monsters your opponent controls cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. So if you have two of them, your opponent can't attack. We're just going to draw, activate Ojama Country, ditch Ojama Black to summon yellow. It's going to put yellow in defense. And now the dupe frogs are... One of them is back to being big. You can see Regeki break to break the dupe block. We are going to see Roche get in. Purposely, that was not a mistake. He's trying to crash Ojama Blue, because when Ojama Blue dies by battle, you could search 2 Ojama cards. He's going to search a country and an Oja Magic. Oja Magic's a fun card. If it's sent from hand to grave, you could search all the Ojamas, and Ojama Country lets you send an Ojama card from hand. So, little combo there to go plus, even if it's just normals. So now he summons the blue back, and then searches the 3 normal Ojamas. And he's also going to set a Pot of Avarice and activate Card Destruction. Cool card when it comes to getting rid of normals, right? Now we're going to Pot of Avarice them back. Ojama deck's firing on all cylinders right here, honestly. Unless he draws bricks here, let's see. That's not bad. 1 brick's unharmful. He heavies, gets rid of the Ojama Country and the Torrential, sadly. We don't like to see that. For Dark Dust... Dupe Frog, I think Dupe Frog should trigger. I'm not sure, I know it misses timing with everything, but I think it does work because it's the last thing that happens. But Mark misses that play, if it does work that way. Regeki Break comes back. I think Roche is just going to Regeki Break this. No, he's going to let it happen. Interesting. Set Ojama Blue, good card. Ooh, the Stalos coming out. The Stalos will hit the Ojama Black. That's a good hit. Ojama Blue, search Country, search Oja Magic. You're going to see that a lot in this tournament just because it's the best searches. Now, here's a cool one. We're going to see Junk Synchron get searched, which works very well with Ojama, surprisingly, because, let me see if he goes for it. He goes for Ojama Knight. It's just because bringing this guy back, Ojama Blue, and it dies, you could just go for some, it's free advantage, you know what I mean? And with Instant Fusion, you can set Sync 8, and of course you gotta throw in the Ojama Knight, just because why not? He's going to Field Spell, pitch Oja Magic, and ironically, Ojama Country can bring back that Ojama Knight, so now you have a 2,500 beater, which is pretty cool, and then 2 zones can't be used. But yeah, it gets over a Monarch easily. Stardust gets in for 2k. It's one of the ones that's not heavily impacted by the field spell. But we are going to see a Battle Fader. And we're going to see Mark Econ, the Battle Fader, and not the Treeborn, which is funny, because Treeborn can come back in the standby phase. We love to see it. For Ryza. And at this point, he's going to try to Regeki Break. He lets it die because of, he knows Stardust Negate will just do the same thing, and in the end, he just gets it back. In the end, I don't fully understand this play, because if you tribute with Stardust, you keep the Ryza, but I could be missing something. I think Mark is just, from what I remember, like, when we play these tournament matches, we're usually, like, all on a call, and, like, we're not coaching or anything, but sometimes things come up, you know what I mean? And people can get a bit upset. So at this point, we were kind of, you could say, critiquing his Monarch play, and he was a bit on tilt, so I can't blame him for that. So here this goes. We're going to see all the Ojamas get in for a good amount of damage, drop Trag, and tribute for Gores. And, yeah, that is honestly a really sad way to see it go, but Gores gets over all these for enough damage for game. So, what are you going to do? Mark wins. I think at this point it was when he vowed to never play Monarchs again, but all in all, I think it was a pretty good set with Roche playing some fun decks. The People's Champ. We'll see where he ends up in the end. Thanks for joining me on Old Format Yu-Gi-Oh! Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and have a good one, duelists.